Let me ask you something honestly. Do you ever sit back after a long day, look at everything that you've did, and still feel like nothing has changed? Because the busiest people I know aren't lazy. They definitely aren't careless. They're usually the most responsible ones. They show up, they stay occupied, and they try to do the right things. And yet their finances feel stuck. I don't just want to explain why busyness can make you feel poor or keep you poor. I want to help you see where that effort is leaking and what actually needs to change for progress to finally show up. Not by just giving you more motivation or hustle, but making clearer and cleaner decisions for yourself. So let's talk about why busyness feels productive in the first place. When you're busy, your brain gets a sense of relief. You can tell yourself, at least I'm trying. At least I am doing something to fill my time up. And that feeling matters, especially when money feels stressful. But here's the part that most people miss. Busyness lets you avoid commitment. You can stay active without choosing a direction that might expose you. But this is where I want to slow down a little bit, because this is the difference between staying busy and actually changing your decisions and start making progress. And let me give you some examples. Busy looks like reorganizing your budget every single month, but still never changing what you spend your money on. Productivity looks like cutting one expense and sitting with that discomfort long enough to make sure that your lifestyle changes and you make different choices now. Busy looks like consuming endless cycles and endless loops of content, video after video, podcast after podcast, and still not taking action on the things that you actually want to pursue. You're never really implementing anything consistently because you're always watching the next podcast that comes out. Productivity looks like committing to one thing and removing those distractions to see where the results are actually going to show up in the long run. So the main difference is here, busy feels productive and it feels active, but productivity feels risky. And this is why so many people stay busy, because busy protects your identity. And if you're busy, you don't have to ask yourself questions. What if I'm doing the wrong thing? Or what if these things that I'm putting focus on, do they even matter? So instead of asking, how do I do more? Ask yourself, what decisions am I avoiding now by staying busy? That question alone changes how you see and how you plan your day. Because money doesn't change when effort increases, it changes when direction becomes clearer. And busy people spread their effort and all of their energy to every little thing. But productive people focus on concentrating their effort into one commitment that they choose. So here's a quick and easy filter that you can use almost every single day. Before you add something to your schedule, ask yourself, is this going to compound? Or am I just trying to fill the time? And if it doesn't compound, it's probably taking energy from something that you really should be doing. And that's why so many people feel exhausted these days. That's why so many people are not focused on what they actually want to do. They spread themselves way too thin. Imagine your entire schedule disappeared tomorrow. No routines, no busyness, and no distractions. What's the one decision that'll keep you? What's the one decision that is still important to you? That decision right there is where real progress lives. That is what you need to be committed to. Real financial progress starts quietly, not with more hours and not with more things to distract you with, but with fewer distractions and one uncomfortable commitment. And that's why it feels slower at first, because you're no longer hiding behind this constant motion that you're trying to push yourself towards. You actually stop and think about, what do I actually need to be doing? And if this feels uncomfortable to hear, that is completely normal. It doesn't mean that you're behind or you're falling off. It just means that you're finally gaining some clarity. Being busy gives you a sense of movement, but clarity is what changes direction. So instead of trying to be less busy tomorrow, try this. Choose one thing that feels productive in the moment, but doesn't actually change your future. That's how real progress starts. Not flashy, not surprising, but deliberately. If this video helped you see your time differently, my friends, that's the point. This channel isn't about just doing more, it's about doing what actually matters. If you want more videos like this about money, decisions, and building real progress, hit that like button and subscribe below. I hope you have a great rest of your day.